pace car in front to cover the distance. The man on the pole, John Paul, covered this same 3.5 miles in 1 minute 41 and 4/10 of a second, averaging 126.278 miles per hour on the 3.5 mile course. And now you see the field beginning to roll down pit road for the commencement of the greatest endurance race in the Western Hemisphere. The 24 Hours of Daytona is rolling off pit road. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. We have mentioned that it is a March Buick V6 on the pole. John Paul Jr. is now in the cockpit. He's also in the headlines. More on that story. He was in court yesterday on Motor Week Illustrated at 5:35 today on Superstation WTBS. Beside him comes the winner of last year's race, and that is the March Porsche. And that is, remember that Porsche had a bit of last year's win because they had the motor in that car from South Africa that was team headed by Cyril van der Merwe. And he's back with Ian Schechter and with Tony Martin for today, completing the front row. Going to row 3, it's car number 8, the Preston Hen car, A.J. Foyt, 4-time winner of Indianapolis, Al Unser, and that's like the Hatfields and the Coys. Remember the old battles that Bobby Unser and A.J. used to have? Well, Al Unser and A.J. share the same car with the famed Frenchman Bob Willick, who will start the machine, a Porsche 962. Going to the 4th position, car number 14. This is a 3.2 and the only 3.2 liter 962 Porsche in the field. And the great IMSA champion of the past, Al Holbert, is there. He is teamed with Great Britain's 4-time winner at Le Mans, Derek Bell and Al Unser Jr. In the 5th starting position today, the gentleman to my right, Bob Aiken, you have Hans Stuck driving in your car today in car number 5, along with Paul Miller, and it's Stuck to start first.
And we'll continue on for an hour and 20 minutes for the first fuel stop, and then Paul Miller will get in and do an hour and 20, and then I'll be down there to take the 3rd driving stint.
As you see the field moving through part of the infield course, it's number 1, the Al Leon car, a Porsche March. Coming next with Randy Lanier, last year's IMSA winner, Bill Whittington on that team, and Whittington has the starting chores. In the 7th starting position, inside of row 4, comes car number 86, a Porsche 962, Bruce Levin, and 2 Formula One drivers, one from the past, Henri Pasquarolo, and one of the tremendous future, Thierry Boutsen of Belgium. Then in the 8th position, here comes the Jaguar, number 44, and it will be Brian Redmond, formerly of Great Britain, now Jacksonville, Florida, teamed with Hurley Haywood, 4-time winner of this event, and Bob Tullius of Falls Church, Virginia. In the 9th starting position, car number 15, a March Chevy, and that'll be Collasion's car, John Collison from Folly Beach, South Carolina, and 2 Chicago drivers, John Lloyd, and beside him, Tommy Gruna in the lineup. In the 10th starting position, the 2nd 12-cylinder Jaguar, Chip Robertson, new to the team, teamed with Claude Bellolino, who gets the starting assignment, and Jim Adams now with him. In the 11th position, on the inside of row 6, the Chevrolet March, and it's Darren Brassfield in car number 29. Now that car had been scheduled for David Hobbs. He injured in a skiing accident, replaced by Tom Gloyd. Ford said no to him in a Chevrolet. And Tommy Byrne has flown in from Ireland, the Formula 3 champion of Europe in 1982, to drive the car. Also in the team, the Can-Am champion of 1984, Mike Rowe, also of Ireland. In the 12th starting position, number 67, that's the Porsche 962 for Jim Busby, and he'll be carrying our onboard camera today. He's the lead driver, along with Rick Knoop of Laguna Beach, California, and the great Jochen Maas of West Germany, one of the world endurance champions. In the 13th starting position is car number 4, the Lola Chevy, and that is a T711. It's the latest, not the 710, but the 11. Lou Price is in there with Carson Baird, veteran driver, and stock car driver Terry Labonte. And now you're in Busby's car, number 67, the BF Goodrich car, one of 2 of them, as they prepare for the start. Going 14th today is Art Leon, and with him comes Gary Walters and Skeeter McKettrick in a Chevy March. Going 15th on the field, the Porsche 962. Pete Halsmer is there with John Morton, veteran driver out of El Segundo, and Dieter Quester has come from Vienna to drive a number 68. In the 16th position, the Ford Argo, is Steve Shelton out of Florida, Brent O'Neill, and Don Courtney. 17th position is a Chevy March, and it's Kemper Miller starting. Remember, he flipped that car twice a year ago, or a similar car. Dave Coward is co-driver, and De Navarez of Columbia is with him. In the 18th position today is car number 30. That is a Ford Alba. It'll be Moretti, Segala, and Jim Truman at the cockpit keyboard. In the GTO class, as we look further back, the leading car in GTO starts 23rd as they come down for the start is the Mustang with Willie T. Ribbs. 24 Hours of Daytona just a few moments away. Jim Miller and John Bauer. The GTU class, the leading car there, is the Schneider car and Elliott Forbes Robinson as the field breaks toward the line to get going to start the 24 Hours. And on the break, John Paul taking the green flag. Going into turn number 1, number 45, John Paul has put the Buick V6 March in front. Now, do you think that it's possible that little Buick V6 can stand the gap for 24 hours, Bobby?
Really, Ken, I don't think so. I think it's obviously the fastest and most powerful car in this race. Probably has 800 horsepower, but so far the Buick V6, although it shows great promise, does not look like it is going to yet ready to hold together for a long race.
Challenge back for third as they whip through the infield portion of this 3.5-mile course. And there you see the Preston Hen car, number 8. Bob Wallach trying to hold on to that spot as this field, 76 strong, begins to string out. And everyone sets their own pace for this race. Cyril Vandenberger closing on the leader. The third-place car is now Al Holbert. And running in fourth place is car number 1. Moving up from 6th position the first lap, the Al Leon car with Bill Whittington driving. Now we're going to be trying to keep better track of the GTO and GTU classes for you this year throughout this 24-hour encounter. We'll be giving you updates on their positioning through this time. We'll be with you through the start until about 4 o'clock, 4:05, and then back for reports hourly, some of them a bit longer than others, to try to update you as to how it's going, not only in the super class, the prototypes, but with some of the competitors that are of more interest strictly here in the United States. Now there is the second place car, number 0, Cyril Vandenberger, and he's chasing number 45, John Paul. That is a Buick V6 leading this illustrious field in the second lap of the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Now, it'd be interesting to watch these two cars if we can see a separation between them, to see which one has a greater top speed, and whether the Buick is in fact opening up on the straight on the Creepy Crawly Porsche March or not. It might give us a clue as to who's running higher boost right now.
We have one car already down, number 3, which is a Buick V6. Bobby Allison was sharing the driving chores in that car, has come to rest just off the horseshoe and appears to be out of it in the very early moments of this race. Car number 3, that's the Ken Martin car out of Atlanta, out of Roswell, Georgia. He and Wayne Pickering had as a third driver 1983 Grand National Champion Bobby Allison. They're sidelined at the moment. United States out in front, South Africa in second. John Paul and number 45, the Buick V6, staying just in front of the Porsche-powered March car. And then comes Al Holbert next.
Looks like Bill Whittington's trying to move up, chasing the third place car too.
There you see him, Al Holbert in the 14, third position.
Now Bill's got a Porsche engine in this 85 G March, and perhaps he can pull Al Holbert on the straightaway, although both of them now have identical engines and just different chassis.
In the first hour of the 24 Hours of Daytona, with Bob Aiken, I'm Ken Squire, and you see the standings. John Paul Jr. was challenged by South Africa's Cyril Vandenberger, who went by him, but then John Paul retook the lead and holds it by the slimmest of margins now. The Al Holbert car is in third, Al Leon's car is in fourth, and your car with Hans Stuck at the keyboard is up to fifth.
Yeah, they're all very close, Ken, and again, a little while ago, Whittington got by briefly in Holbert, or was right on his tail, and they've got quite a race going there for fourth place. Hans Stuck hanging on in fifth, and as I see, is just moving now into fourth place.
Sixth place overall in the event is the Pascarolo car, and seventh at the present time is the Jaguar, number 44, Bob Tullius, Brian Redmond, and Hurley Haywood. Redmond now driving, followed by car number 8 with A.J. Foyt, Unser, and Wallach. Let's go to Chris Economaki on pit road.
I've been covering races a long, long time, but what happened here with car number 3 driven by Bobby Allison, I've never seen or heard of before. The race started, the car went out on the first lap with corner out here, and I asked what was wrong, and the guy said they forgot to put fuel in. How about that?
How about that? They forgot to put fuel in at the start.
That's incredible. You can't imagine how that can happen, and yet there are so many things going on to get ready at the beginning of a race, particularly if you've had trouble and you've just changed an engine or something. Somebody overlooks it and they think it's someone else's assignment, and there you go, you run out of gas.
That's an oh my heart for the car owners. 45, John Paul burst on the scene with a brilliant performance. 81, has won himself a tremendous number of races, 9 of them in 17 events in 1982. Took the championship, youngest ever to do it at 22 years of age. Here he is leading Cyril van der Merwe of South Africa. There's the 06, that is the Willie Ribbs car, which is leading in the GTO class right now. Bob, number 06, Willie T. Ribbs at the keyboard of that car, is leading in GTO.
Yeah, it's a powerful factory effort there, and I would be surprised if they don't do very well in this race, Ken.
A lot of Ford people down here to see if that car will do it. And the Buick people certainly rolled in numbers this morning off the plains.
Detroit is into IMSA racing in an unprecedented way this year.
And there's one of the reasons. Number 45, this is a V6. And a V6 leading in an endurance race has not happened before.
Strategy here, Ken Squire. The pace that these guys set during the first hour, Doc, how is that determined?
Well, you like to go out and set a comfortable pace. You know, early on you calculate what you think it would take to win a race. Like I said early on, you want not so much to run fast, you want to get good mileage and you want to cover a lot of miles. Sometimes when you're in the beginning of the race, the drivers are a little eager, anxious to get going. They forget about the pace and they start going fast. And it very well could be happening right here. They're all kind of jockeying each other around, trying to make somebody do something dumb.
Is there a lap time that you set as a benchmark for the team, or do you let the driver on that first shift kind of shake it down
No,
himself?
you really do set a lap that you'd like to compete at. Each team has their own strategy on that, and occasionally it becomes a little bit quicker than what it's supposed to be.
Everybody wants to get out there and go fast, because that, of course, is what racing is all about. But here at Daytona, it's also a 24-hour proposition.
As you watch the overall leader here, looking back at the GTU board, Schneider's car in GTU is leading, and then the Jack Baldwin, Ira Young, Jeff Klein car, the Mazda RX-7, is holding on to second place there. Car number 1 is the Leon car with Lanier and Whittington. Whittington is now driving, and he is showing fourth. The Bob Aiken car is the red number 5, and there you see the two of them down through that chicane, headed into the east banking, and right in front of them, number 14, Holbert, and they're challenging Holbert.
Now you see what traffic can do for you. Now just try and guess which way that slower car is going to go, and what are you going to do here? And they all managed to get through, but there'll be a lot of heart-stopping maneuvers like that in the course of 24 hours.
Threading the needle, moving up, approaching 200 miles per hour. There is Holbert, still staying in third spot. Number 1 staying fourth, Whittington driving, and Hans Stuck in the number 5, maintaining fifth. Henri Pasquarolo and Thierry Boutsen, the 11 car, number 86 is sixth. The Jaguar runs in seventh with Brian Redmond driving, and then in the next car back, eighth position is 04. And that is Claude Bellalina and Chip Robinson and Adams in the second Jaguar, followed by the A.J. Foyt, Wallach, Unser car in 9th and 10th overall right now. Here comes the number 68 car. The B.F. Goodrich cars with Halsmer, Morton, and Dieter Quester showing 10th overall. Within what, 10 minutes you'll come in? And from the Daytona International Speedway, live coverage of the 23rd annual 24 Hours of Daytona. Bob Aiken alongside, I'm Ken Squire, and we've seen some major changes out here. Al Holbert's car, the 962, the biggest engine in the field of the 962s, is leading right now.
Dominating the race right now, Ken, although there's been some reshuffling with the pit stops, but it looks like a Porsche parade with one little turbocharged Buick set in there in second place.
Bob Aiken's car has fallen further back. It looks like you had a tire equalize on that car.
Well, we made a routine pit stop, and that dropped us down a couple of spots, but they came back in a couple of laps later to change another tire, so we're catching up again.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. Here's how they stand. It's Al Holbert's car in front. Derek Bell currently driving. Then Bob Woolick is in the A.J. Foyt Unser car in second. Adams third. Hurley Haywood now driving in car 44 for Team Jaguar is in fourth, and they're looking really strong. And Andre Pasquarolo has taken over in car number 86. They run fifth. Warrington, Pennsylvania's Al Holbert. That's his car, number 14, the Porsche 962. Derek Bell of Great Britain now at the controls in the lead. In the GTO class, Willie T. Ribb stays in front. At GTU, it's the Schneider car, number 87, leading the way in their classes of the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Yes, sir.
Car 44. Utilities Redmond and Haywood. Jaguar. Third at time, the Ford Walliganser car number 8.
Go ahead.
Posted in 6th position at the time with pit stop.
Take a look just a moment ago at what happened to car number 45. This is the John Paul car that's set on the pole with a new record. They've broken a drive shaft. It is a CV joint that is busted in the car. They'll be in some 20 or 25 minutes. But that is bad news for that Buick turbo car that had really led and looked so strong early. Now let's take a look at the current standings in the race with over 100 laps complete. Bob, how about it?
Bob Tullius and the Jag leads for the overall position, followed by 3 962s of Holbert and Foyt and Pescarolo. And in the 45 car, John Paul Jr. is dropping back. And
you're having problems with your car, too.
We've been in and out for about 15 minutes, but we're back in.
We're here with one of the top women drivers in the race, Robin McCall, who's just been in an accident with one of the Jaguars. Robin, did the Jaguar bite you or vice versa?
Well, what I think what happened was the Jaguar blew a tire and slid into me a little bit in the front.
The car's repairable, though?
Oh, yeah, the Folgers Coffee Corvette will be back on the track and hopefully finish the race.
There's plenty of excitement out there once the sun goes down.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Despain. We're back live at Daytona International Speedway, where a Porsche Jaguar battle is raging in the 24 Hours of Daytona. Let's go right to the leaderboard, where we find that Al Hobart and his crew have moved to the top of the heap. They are battling the Jaguar of Group 44, the Tullius entry here this evening. As we approach the 4.5-hour mark in the race, we are 463 miles into a race expected to run some 2,500 miles distance. Let's go down to Jerry Garrett now in the STP Pit Communication Center and check the battles raging for the GTO and GTU honors. Jerry?
Well, Dave, right now the leader in GTO continues to be the number 65 Ford Mustang of Johnny Jones, Wally Dallenbach Jr., and our colleague Doc Bundy. They're doing very well. They're leading right now over one of the Mazdas, the Australian group from Alan Moffat. And Neil Bonnet, the stock car drivers, in third place. Now over here in GTU, we have a former go-kart champion from Daytona Beach, Scott Pruitt, leading in a Mazda over a Toyota of Chris Cord and Dennis Ossie.
Here is this recent scene just a few minutes ago at Daytona. Big accident involving a couple of front-running cars. The 5th place car overall. This is Pete Halsmer's machine, with John Morton and Dieter Quester being dragged away. The remains after a crash with the 2nd place GTO car, the Alan Glick, Billy Cyphers, and Bill Cooper machine. As you can see, an incredible impact at some 200 miles an hour. It happened right at the start-finish line, and Jim Roller talked with Pete Halsmer to find out what happened.
Coming up on with another car, and as I started by on the left side, somebody just came over hard. I think they were starting to pass a car in front of them. They came over hard enough, it just clipped my front end, and I couldn't keep it together.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
5th place car out of it. We'll be back in an hour with more. Stay tuned.
Five and a half hours into the 24 Hours of Daytona. Hello again, I'm Ken Squire, trackside, and at this point we have 3 cars in the lead lap. Let's take a look here at the leaderboard. Among the overalls, the prototype cars. Up in front is the Al Hobart car. Derek Bell is now driving that machine. But couched over here in the Palmettos is car number 44. That's the Jaguar with Brian Redmond now at the controls. And then comes Terry Bootson driving the number 8. And that machine could be a factor before it's over. Whittington's 4th, and Busby has taken the BF Goodrich car up into 5th position. Checking on the GTO category now, a Mustang continues to lead there. It's Doc Bundy, Willie T. Ribbs, Wally Dallenbach Jr. over Alan Moffat in the Australian team. And in the GTU category, Lewis, Scott Pruitt, that team of the is leading at the present time with their Mazda RX-7 over Dan Gurney's Toyota that's running in 2nd place.
In the Bob Aiken Motor Racing Porsche Turbo, Keith Snyrock comes out
Hello.
Teamed up with Wayne Baker to pull off a GTO win. And the Coca-Cola 12 Hours of Sebring. By the way, you want to be making your plans for the lower.
That's bizarre. I knew that you knew one.
Well, that was
There are two.
It'll be between the Twin 125, 7-11 qualifiers on Thursday before the 500.
With the early leader in the GTO division, Willie Ribbs. And Willie, what happened to your car?
Well, when we went out, we were leading, but we had a ignition wire break right inside the plastic, and we didn't know it, and it made the car misfire, and we drove with a misfire for about 2.5 hours, and finally it got so bad we had to fix it.
For a while there, you were moving right up among the prototypes.
Well, that was the objective. I predicted we would win GTO going away. It was just a matter of how many GTP cars we were going to beat. We're behind a little bit, but we will do like Rommel and march forward.
And now you're coming back strong.
We'll be back by, we got 18 hours to do it, and we're coming back all night.
Car number 8 runs in third place. Thierry Boutsen now driving along with Al Unser and A.J. Foyt. And earlier, Chris Economaki had an opportunity to talk with A.J. Foyt about this race.
You look comfortable. Is it going well?
Everything's going real good, you know. I think we're back on the same lap with the leaders at the present time now.
How about this influenza that you've got?
Well, he's supposed to be real good, and Bob Wallach's come down with the flu. I've had it for 3 days, and he's very sick, and I felt bad, and then no more I got out, you know, it started raining, and we didn't, you know, Bob was too sick to get back in, so I had to get back in, and we just needed some help.
AJ, how much rest will you get tonight? And will you get to bed at all?
I doubt it very seriously, Chris. We got a hard day, a hard night, and a hard day tomorrow, but we want to win this thing.
Indeed, they do want to win this thing, and they are very much in the hunt. But still, it is Al Holbert's race to win at the present time.
What's the problem?
I understand the Jag caught on fire again.
Beg your pardon?
For car number 5, as the yellow lights
Okay.
Jerry, what you got down there since you lost your 44 car?
The 44 cars caught fire out on the course for some reason or other. And Tullius was in it at the time and has been taken to the hospital. I don't know what's happened exactly, but the caution now is because the car is caught on fire.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Despain in the STP Pit Communication Center with race driver and TV commentator Bob Aiken. Bob, quickly, the status of your car number 5. What's happening there?
We've had a couple of stops, but lost some time. But we're running around about 11th or 12th right now, and I expect we'll be back up in the top 5 pretty soon.
There's enough time left to win the race?
Oh, yeah, it's a long race, yeah.
Long race, right? We've had a big development here on the leaderboard. We're going to look at some videotape, Bob, with you. The leader's still the Holbert, Bell, and Unser Jr. car. But look what's happened to the car that was in second place. Bob, fire is one of the scariest things that can happen to any driver. Bob Tullius apparently blew the engine going into the chicane, a huge ball of fire. Can you imagine what he might have been thinking about as he sat in that race car?
Well, I can say that he isn't going to sit in there any longer than he possibly can, and he's just going to get out there. The one thing you think about is getting the thing stopped and getting out as fast as you can. And
getting stopped, of course, is one of the keys. He did bail out of that car. They have taken him to the infield care center where he is reported alert, conscious, and apparently okay. But a brilliant run for that car has apparently gone for naught. That's going to move the Foyt, Wallach, and Unser team up into the number 2 spot. And the yellow flag now is currently to clear the Group 44 Jaguar, which had such a brilliant run here off the racetrack, and they apparently are done, even though they're still in 3rd place on the leaderboard.
It is breakfast time at the 24 Hours of Daytona, and if one likes the most exotic sports cars in the world with their bacon and eggs, well, just take a look here. Car number 14 is currently leading. Al Holbert has the way. He's running in first place in this machine, this Porsche 962, six-cylinder engine that carries him to 217 miles per hour, grumbling out some 8,000 RPMs when he needs it. Right now, he doesn't need it. He has a pretty fancy lead over the second place car, some 11 laps over Foyt and Unser in second place. Now here is the leader in the GTO class. That's the Willie Ribbs Dallenbach car, and right now the driver is John Jones of Thunder Bay, Ontario. The GTU leader, Chris Cord's car, sits here right now. You can see Chris Cord sitting on the fence. They're having problems with the car on the track.
Sounds like pretty compelling television.
The last big pit stop for the leader. Interviewed Derek Bell about what's going on.
Was it 10 or 11 laps? Was it 13?
You got it going.
The car has now refired and is smack up
stalled 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Oh, that's a lap.
The car is just entering the chicane area. The second place car just entering the chicane. Bob?
Yeah. I think the international thing happens at the end. Yeah. I mean, we're going to be all back
he's in
up
trouble
here.
again.
14, I believe, has just stopped again. Car has come to a stop on the banking.
They're going to be pushing him in.
Superspeedway. And that is car number 14, Derek Bell,
Right now.
handling the car off the banking. The
Lowenbrock's going to go out here.
and stopped. It is now rolled off the banking. And it's interesting to note that every time.
Al Holbert, in quest of his first win in this race, his 32nd IMSA victory, has seen it all go away. What were moments of jubilation turned to moments of despair. Car 14, a new electric ignition system. It's not the fueling problem. Coming to rest out of turn number 1. Derek Bell, the driver at the time. They've been working desperately trying to get the car back in the event. But in the meantime, car number 8 that won this race 2 years ago. A.J. Foyt, Bob Wallach, Al Unser, Terry Boutsen, they're leading the event, and they look like they're on their way to winning this 23rd annual classic. Moving along in the 3rd position is the Jim Busby car, the B.F. Goodrich car, picking up 3rd spot now, and in 4th spot it is Bob Aiken. He is standing by at the STP Pit Center. You'll be hearing from him later. Jochen Maas is currently in the car. But the major story, moments ago, car number 14 broke down on course. They're trying to get it cranked up, fired, and back into the event. There you see the standings. Rick Knoop is now driving, the California driver, in car number 67, and there is Al Holbert's efforts. Line to the bottom of turn number 1, just down off the 31-degree banking at Porsche 962. The one race he wants to win so much continues to elude him. And there is the leader, and Bob Wallach of France, from Strasbourg, France, is in the car at this time. And there you see Derek Bell still trying to get car number 14 fired up and get back into this, and apparently making some headway. Car 14, they said the ignition system just fell out of it. Not a fueling problem, and he's coming back out. Car number 14, now down some 2 laps himself, and perhaps more, is coming out of turn 1 on the east banking of the superspeedway, west banking of the superspeedway, coming onto the track. Number 14 in 2nd place, Derek Bell at the controls. 5 laps. Huh? Johnson car came here very late, the last moment it could make it to qualify as they tried to put it together. There's your lead car. That's number 8. A.J. Foyt, Bob Wallach, Unser, and they added Terry Boutsen. Neither Foyt nor Unser were very excited about racing in the dark, and Al Unser was certainly not enthusiastic about racing in the rain. And we've had 3 showers 3 times, and they've gone to rain tires in the event. Unser had some great answers about driving in the rain. They said, do you like to drive in the wet? He said, I don't like to drive in the mist. Well, now it's Bob Wallach, the French driver, who helped them to victory 2 years ago, keeping this car in front. Holbert, Bell, Unser Jr. staying in 2nd. Busby, Knoop, and Maas in 3rd. Bob Aiken's car has made a really stout comeback to run in 4th. And Bob Aiken's 2nd car, the number 7, Ren car, is now showing itself in 5th position. The Daytona 500. And here is car number 14, still trying to get fired, still trying to keep running. Derek Bell of Great Britain in there, and again it's taking off and moving. They're secure in 2nd place. They want to bring the car across the line. They will not be penalized if the car is not running at the end of 24 hours. Let's go to Chris Economaki.
I'm in the STP Pit Center. There's a little bit of institutional information that should be given out here. There are 230 drivers suited up for this race, says 24 Hours, from about 17 or 18 foreign countries. Let's see how the foreigners have done. In the lead car, Bob Wallach and Terry Boutsen are from France and Belgium. In the second place car, Derek Bell came from England. Jochen Maas in the third place car is from West Germany. Hans Stuck in the fourth place car is from West Germany. Kees Nierup in this car is from Holland. And this is the first car on the standings that's manned by an all-American team.
Overall is the GTO car. Dallenbeck has done such a marvelous job. Doc Bundy and Jones, they're running 8th. 9th overall in the event is car number 9, Baker, Newsom, Meade. And 10th overall is Mark Hawley in a Mazda Argo. That completes the top 10 overall in the event. Now you see car number 8 pulling up into the super speedway, final time. Busby there, third place car. The second place car rests just down below us. Checkered flag is out as 1 and 3 come across, and the 24 Hours of Daytona has been completed. Now number 14 fires and crosses the line. Here's number 71, Amos Johnson, looking for victory in the GTU class.